What's good, everyone? It's your boy Salos back again with our Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we are finally ending out this year that we call 2020. Oh boy. And I find it funny how we've kind of shifted from saying things like Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to just Happy Holidays. But today, like, we just dropped the Happy Holidays. Everyone's been saying Happy New Year because I think everyone just wants this year to be over with. But I kind of want to end this off on a positive note. This was kind of inspired. This was a video inspired by the Sacred Spear, where he talks about his favorite units that he used from 2020. And I kind of, well, I'm going to try to keep it limited to 2020 units, but it might be units that got weapons refined in 2020. It might just be units that I decided to say FNI is built in 2020. So I'm going to try to keep it primarily focused on units in 2020, but if they were like MVPs, like this isn't a unit I built, but let's just say I built an Ike, then Ike will be on this list. And although Ike is not a 2020 unit, or he didn't get a weapon refine or anything, if I decide to build him up, then he will be on this list. And without further ado, let's get this underway. Now I'm going to keep this one short, sweet, and to the point because this guy has his own video, but I couldn't go without mentioning my first ever 5-star exclusive plus 10 unit. And this was just so special to me because I just kind of wrote off that plus 10 units are just going to be like these in-game bosses that I had to fight but I would never be able to achieve on my own. So the fact that I've been able to have my own plus 10 unit, my own 5-star exclusive plus 10 unit, which also might I add you is one of my favorite characters in the series. It's just been so special to me that I've been able to do this on my own. I mean, he wasn't completely free to play. I did spend a little bit of cash on it, but I didn't like spend an absurd amount of money. I think I spent like probably $60 altogether, which I mean that sounds pretty bad. Honestly, it's like, especially if you've never spent any money, like say 60 bucks, bro, it's a Switch game. But when you consider the fact that people drop like thousands of dollars to plus 10 a unit, or like hundreds on hundreds of dollars, I think that spending 60 for Tacoma was very much worth it, especially now that he has his Splendid Alt and whatnot. And I know if you just randomly clicked on this video, I will try to remember to link a video. I will try to remember to link my guide to my 2020 Takumi builds, which they do work. I mean, I am fully aware that Takumi's been power crept to heck, but I'm just so happy that my first plus 10 5-star exclusive unit was Takumi. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I had made a whole video on that, and if you want to know more details on how this build works, then refer to that video. Next up, we have one of my favorite lords in this series, Corin, and I get a lot of slack for that. Thank you very much for saying that I have terrible taste. But I'm not going to go into why I like Corin here. I'm just going to let the haters hate, and I just love Corin. So, the fact when she got her legendary ult, bro, I was not expecting it. I don't know, people were like saying, oh, it's gonna be male Corin with the Omega Yato. Shut up, no, it's female Corin. Legendary female Corin's here. So, I don't know, like, she's just been such a great tank, especially like in Astra. I know that she's a legendary hero, so being able to use her in AR consistently is kind of when the stars align and you're able to use when wind is aligned with AR. But every time I'm allowed to use her in AR, she just destroys, like with the renewal, like the little self-healing mixed with like a healing tower. This chick just never dies, and especially now that she like synergizes so perfectly with legendary Eliwood, since she's a dragon, she fulfills the dragon requirement. So she gets like all these stats on top of bonus doubler. She's just, and then she like has negating thing that just absorbs all damage and reflects it right back at you. Oh my lord, I love this unit so much. She is so fun. Super tanks are like my go-to playstyle, so the fact that they made her a super tank is just right up my alley. I know that colorless, the super tank strategy isn't like the most popular one. I think the most popular strategy are Vanish tanks, but I just loved it so much. So I'm so glad that I was able to get at least one copy of her. I was able to get a second copy of her on the last rerun, but I'm just so happy that I was able to pull this unit. Now, the second I saw Lady Freya, I had like I was like most people, I was like, I don't care what I have to do for this unit. The second she drops, I am getting her and she will be mine. And did she come? Oh boy. Like, I just sniped for her so much, like Snipe City, and she just would not stop coming. Now, sadly, I haven't been able to use her all that much to great effect, but if you ever see a Freya in arena, run, because her weapon alone is a full kit. She has the mini impact effect, she has damage reduction, she has distant counter, and if you buff her, if you try to buff yourself fighting her, then her exclusive B slot takes that away. Like, what can't this chick do? She also has damage reduction. Like, Lady Freya is truly a nightmare, not to mention that she looks absolutely gorgeous and stunning. But we're not trying to go off that. Like, honestly, the way she comes, she's perfect. She has attack speed solo 4, and she's gonna be by herself. She has binding necklace, which you don't get rid of because it punishes your opponent for buffing. She has pulse smoke to stop all of those special spamming teams where you have to fight her without your special, and good luck with that. And all you have to do is give her Gale Force so she can just go into the enemy teams and just sleep. But like Lady Freya, she's not my favorite boss. I'll get to my favorite boss, which is unironic. I didn't expect to like that boss so much. But I'm so happy I was able to get Lady Freya. I see it in the hero mirrors. I don't use her all that much because she's still relatively new for me. But I look forward to many, many good times with her in 2021. Now, we started the year off strong with dual Alphons. Oh my lord. I still remember to this day when we got him in the data mine. It was Legendary Celica's banner, and if you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure most of you guys don't know because I didn't want to really talk about it. But when I summoned for Legendary Celica, it was an absolute nightmare. Okay, so this is gonna be a little test because my friends know about this. I'm not gonna tell them that I told them that I'm unlocking the secrets to Legendary Celica. I just want to know if you can watch the video. So this is a test to all my fellow Titans. If you're watching the video, you will now know the secrets of the Celica Nightmare. So this is what happened, okay? Christmas Day. I'm not a very materialistic person, so my parents like never give me anything for Christmas. So instead of trying to guess what they want to give me for Christmas, they just give me the money of what they would have bought for me for Christmas. Like when I was younger, they would got me like a game system and a few games, maybe a laptop, maybe a cell phone. So instead of that, they just give me some money, okay? So last year, my parents gave me, between my parents and my sister, I got $300 for Christmas. I am so embarrassed to say this, my lord. I spent like 85% of that money trying to go for Legendary Celica, and I didn't even get her. Okay, no. Okay, so this is the thing. I didn't get her in the spending, but I forgot. I think I went to like the chain challenges or whatever. I went to something, but I literally only had enough for one last yellow summon, and in that yellow summon is when I got my Legendary Celica. And that is the secret to the Celica Nightmare. And from that day on, I can never bring it to myself to never spend like that ever again. That's when the gacha just got. I don't even know why I wanted Celica so bad, okay? I just wanted Celica because she was like magic and magic is just so much better than physical damage in this game, and I just wanted her so bad. I don't know why I wanted her so bad. I guess like it was the mix of like Soul Sophia and being like mini legendary all at the same time. I don't know, but my point of sharing that is that I felt so bad, and because like I knew I just dropped so much money on legendary Celica. When I saw legendary, when I saw not legendary when I saw New Year's Alphonse, I was like, bro, I should have just waited, because dual Alphonse is so incredibly good. I've always liked Alphonse and Trina. You guys know I'm a sucker for OCs. If you don't, you know now. But I'm a sucker for OCs. So I was like, bro, this unit is so good. This is gonna be like a very future-proofed unit. And lo and behold, I free summoned this dual Alphonse. Despite the Celica Nightmare, I still free summoned him, so I still got what I wanted. And he was perfect IVs. And to this day, I use this Alphonse for basically everything. The hero mirrors are very deceptive, okay? Because I only use him in Aether Raids, and I only use him in Arena Assault. So that hero mirror is very deceptive. But trust me, this is a unit that when he comes back on this tomorrow, try for him. Try to get him. This is a unit that will carry. This unit carries harder than, like, I cannot recommend this unit enough. Like, his base kit is all you need. I gave him a Rouse, but literally his ult skill that he comes with, perfectly fine to keep. Because you just press the button, his special gets ready, you give him QR, and he destroys everything. Simple as that. I love this unit so much, and I am so happy I was able to free summon him after the Celica Nightmare. Now, this one is a story, let me tell you. Okay, so on my Instagram story, I think this is like still one of my most popular videos, where I did the Brave Edelgard, the legendary Edelgard video, where I made it so that it was Academy Edelgard fighting Adrestian Emperor Edelgard. And I just did so much for this legendary hero battle, because it was the first three houses, time skip protagonist to get added to Fae. So I wanted to make it very momentous, and I'm a Golden Deer stan, hashtag fear the deer, but I really love Edelgard as well, so I wanted to do her justice. So the first summon circle, I got 3 Edelgards. I free summoned one, and in that same circle I got 2 Edelgards. So I just kept going with it. By the time that banner ended, I got 5 Edelgards under 100 orbs. It was unreal. So when she came back, I got, I think, 3 more of her. So now she's +7. So I'm sitting with a +7 legendary Edelgard, and that's like, you guys know how rare that is, to get a +7 legendary hero in like 200 orbs. Like that's cheaper than some of these 4-star +10 units, which, like, I'm pretty sure more, like, you'll spend more like +10 mini Marth than I did for this Edelgard. It's insane. And I am just so thankful that I put so much effort into the legendary hero battle. It's still one of my best produced videos to this day, in my opinion. And so Edelgard just always has a soft spot in my heart. You guys know that she does the quad Gale Force build. I'm not showing it here. I have the DC build on her, but she has Heavy Blade 4, where she just kills 3 units in 1 hit and 1 round. Like, she can be a tank, she can be a Gale Force unit, she could be whatever she wants. Edelgard is just so good at whatever she does, and I'm so glad I got her. Again, a very new unit, so the hero mirrors fly again. And I am trying to work her up in summer supports. I just haven't had the time to grind her up. But Shamir, now Shamir is a very underrated unit, and I am glad she is underrated, because I do not want to fight this thing on a regular basis. She gets, like, everyone's like, a green archer, legendary Lyn kind of saturated that class. Thanks, Lyn. But, like, she gets so many stats. Like, she just can flat out destroy reds, because for one, She had, if you fight her above 85% HP, then she gets the fire sweep effect. And on top of that, she has attack speed solo in her bow. And it's cooldown -1. So that's +6 attacking speed already. Then you have attack speed solo 4, which is +7. Then you have rouse attack speed, which is another +6. So that's 6 + 6, 12. That's +19. So her attack jumps to 75 and like in the 60s with speed. And you can't counterattack. And she triggers Moonbow. And as you in my build, she has Death Blow. So her attack is like in the 80s. Like, I am so glad people do not see the value in Shamir, because like, ooh, let me put my red tank in front of her. Your red tank might just get smacked. Like, there are so many red units that have just completely bodied with this Shamir. If you want to get really cheeky, you can put her with like Brave Lucina and give her a higher special, like, I don't know, like, well, I mean, I guess she has high enough attack, like Draconic Aura or something. She can make that work, because she, again, her attack gets in the 80s, so she can very much well use Draconic Aura and just decimate things. Like, I am so glad people do not see the value in Shamir, because she is just, oh my lord. And so she has no follow-up too. Like, Brave Hector, goodbye. Like, I am so glad people do not use this unit more, because she would be very annoying to fight on a regular basis. You guys thought Legendary Arm was a nightmare? Oh boy, you ain't seen nothing. Now this one was actually kind of a weird case, because, okay, so here's the story. If you guys don't know, I've been saying that a lot. I should try to cut that a little bit. But if you guys don't know, I was actually one of the few people that was actually going to +10 Nemesis, because I think that 45% damage reduction is very, very good. And Nemesis is a super tank. So people are like, you have to keep your whole team healthy for him to be effective or whatever. But with super tanks, the thing is, they're a super tank. They do all the fighting. The rest of your team supports the super tank, so they're not going to be getting hurt at all. So at most, you might have one other super tank on the team or one other unit that fights. So okay, you take one that's not going to be there. It's still 30% damage reduction. That's still very good. So I was like, okay, I'm going to +10 Nemesis. But a unit called Ninja Lin, or Linja as the people like to call her, came out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for a Linja, and on the off chance that I get Z-Hark, then I'll just occasionally go for reds, because I'm going for Lin, might as well. Let's just see if I can get Lin, or if I can get a Z-Hark. And if I do manage to +10 Z-Hark, that won't +10 Nemesis. Bro. I got so many Z-Harks. Like, Edelgard was insane, but this guy was just, oh my god. Like, I got like 2 to 3 Z-Harks in each summoning. Like, I could not go a summoning session without getting Z-Hark. I literally think I +10 Z-Hark before I got 1 Lin. Like, it was insane. And I got so many Z-Harks that I have leftovers. I have 5 Z-Harks. Like, after this +10, I have 5 Z-Harks as combat manuals, because that is just so how common he kept coming. He just would not stop coming. So I was like, okay, this is clearly a sign not to +10. This is clearly a sign that I shouldn't +10 Nemesis. I think that was the universe saying that +10 Nemesis is a very bad idea. And I can't really say that I particularly like the Z-Hark. But I mean, the hero mirrors don't fly. Like, I do use him. Like, he's still a very solid unit, especially like in AR. And in arena, he's a godsend. But I don't know. he does the thing. He does the thing. I can't really get mad at him. It's just that I haven't found that sword for him, you know? I can't use ninja katana in arena because it doesn't really score optimally. So I'm still looking for that sword for him. If you guys know a good sword for Zehark, let me know, because I'm still refining his build. So if you guys have Zehark built up to +10, then let me know. And if you guys wondering why he's not plus attack and because that's not super boon, that's literally the best thing I got. I pulled 16 Zeharks and not a single one was plus speed. That's my luck for you. Sometimes it's a mixed bag. Now, Hell, I was not expecting to like Hell at all. Like, it is very surprising how much I enjoyed using Hell. Like, the amount of teams that she just beat is so unreal. I can't believe that there are so many teams out there that don't use magic. And if you don't use magic with this build specifically, you just lose. Like, Hell has soloed entire +10 teams. As you guys see, she's not very highly immersed. She's only +2. So she has soloed +10 Brave Edelgards, +10 Dimitris, +10 Legendary Edelgards, Brave Edelgards, Brave Claudes, Legendary Hector, Brave Hector. She has killed so many people. Like, she is the embodiment of death because she has just been the end all to so many runs. So many people could not beat this thing, especially when she has like over 50 speed. Like, I just drop her and she just, like, most people think can't even double her. And if you do double her, then you probably aren't killing her in one shot because of Miracle, and then Mystic Boost gets right back up. So Hell is just a force of nature, and I love it so much. I did not expect to use her this much, but she has been one of my favorite units by far to use this year. She was very unexpected, but I'm glad that there is a mythic unit out there that I genuinely enjoy using, because typically I go for the legendary heroes and I just ignore the mythics, but this is one mythic that I've loved to death. Now this one's actually a pretty special one to me because this isn't just any old Eliwood. Like, again, this is a unit that we all know that we've had for a while now. We've all know how amazing regular Eliwood is, because he stole Brave Roy's Refine. So Eliwood's just kind of become discount Brave Roy, although, well, no one uses Brave Roy because why get because their stats are so similar. Well, it's at +10 at least. That why would you go for him when Eliwood becomes like this great balanced, he has such good res, and then the weapon fixes his defense, so it's like he's good both on the magical and physical side, on top of maintaining good offenses, versus Roy, who's still a glass cannon and can still get wrecked by dragons. So it's like people just use Eliwood, but that's not why he's on this list. This Eliwood specifically, this very same Eliwood you're looking at right now, is my first ever summoned unit. And like, if you like manage your heroes by obtained, he appears before Alphonse, this same exact Eliwood. So I always said that, you know what, I'm gonna build this Eliwood one day. So I never sent him home. And he got the first he got the Durandal Refine, you know, the one with Swiss Sparrow in it. And I was like, yeah, it's cute, you know what? Here's my first unit. It's not that great of a refine, but screw it, I'll give it to him. Used him for a little bit, didn't really touch him again. Then he got Blazing Durandal, which, I mean, it was good. It was Legendary Roy. I mean, I keep getting his name wrong. It was Brave Roy's weapon, which, I mean, it was cool, but I still preferred to use Brave Roy at the time because he was just so hyper offensive, and sometimes Eliwood's speed was just middling. It wasn't really enough. So I was like, okay, well, it's cool. He's still my first unit, so I'll give it to him. Then he got the Blazing Durandal Refine, and that's when Eliwood skyrocketed into popularity. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll make him eventually one day because he deserves it, and he's proven to be a very meta-defining unit. And the final nail in the coffin for me was when he got the Resplendent Alt, because the one thing that was in the back of my mind that I never wanted to say is he has had terrible art. That was the main reason. I just couldn't stand his art. And then he got the alt. I was like, you know what? That's it. There is no more excuses not to build this man. So 2020, I made it happen, and my first ever summoned unit is now one of my most powerful units. And that is just such a good feeling that the first hero that I ever summoned, I'm not looking at you, Varian, you don't count. The first hero that I summoned in the Gotcha pool that shows up before Alphonse is one of my most used units. I use him in auto battle, I use him in Tempest Trials, I use him in Grand Hero battles, Legendary Hero battles, Mythic Hero battles, Abyssal maps, Arena Assault, Aether Raids, everything. I take this Eliwood everywhere. It's a shame that he's not at max hero merits because I use this guy so much, and it's just a sentimental place in my heart that he just became this good, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys can't remember who your first hero was. And the fact that I still have mine, it's like a proud parent to seeing him just become, like, some uses get worse over time because of power creep, but it seems like Eliwood, he is that unit. Every time a red Cav comes out, they're compared to Eliwood. Like, even as good as Caden is, who's coming out tonight, even he's being compared to Eliwood. He has set the standard of what a red Cav should be. And I'm just so in love with the fact that he has made that standard for himself. So way to go, Eliwood. And you keep rocking that elite swag. And to end out this video, we have one of the units that I actually chose for Choose Your Legends, Geese. Now, the Pirate Banner, a lot of people just saw Flowing Lance fodder, but I actually voted for Geese to come in the game because in Binding Blade, he was one of my favorite units. He has such a good character development. Well, I don't want to say development because he didn't really go anywhere. He had a good character build-up. He had interesting lore behind him. He had great supports. Like, everything about Geese was great except for his combat performance. But Geese is just such a lovable character. I loved him so much. And when I saw him come to Faye, I was like, that's it. I must plus 10 him. And Geese is, like, again, one of my most used units. Like, he's like invisible. Like, this was completely unintentional. But he's also really good in Pawns of Loki too, because he has a really high HP stat for some reason. So it's like he has the amazing combination of high HP, high attack, and workable speed. So you makes like 60 HP with like 50 speed and 60 attack. Like, this dude it's so hard to kill him because he's so fast you can't double him. He has so much HP, so he sponges hits, and he has damage reduction. And because he's fast, you can't double him. So even if you're doing like 1-for-1, he's probably gonna win eventually because you're just doing those 1-for-1 blows. Like, you can't double him. He is just such an amazing unit, and he has Flowing Lance, which is like arguably like one of the best lances in the game. So I just love him so much because most people see him as Flowing Lance fodder, but if you actually built up your Geese, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this guy is so hard to take down, and I am so glad that I made the investment to plus 10 him when I did. He's one of my carries in Arena. He's my carry in Aether Raids. Again, he's like Eliwood for me. I use him in basically everything. He's in my auto battle team. I love him so much, and I couldn't recommend him more. If you ever need a blue lance infantry unit, Geese is your man. And that's pretty much all my units that I love to use in 2020. There are more that I could go over, and there are plenty more that got great weapon refines, like shoutouts to base Corin, who I plus 10'd at the beginning of the game, and she was kind of sad and cried in a corner because Corin before her refine was god awful. I always say build your favorite units, but I will admit that that is a unit I regretted building until she got her weapon refined, and now she's amazing. She carries my, I use her with my Lilina, my base Lilina, who's basically a chill bot. She chills the opponents. Corin goes in and kills them. Her gloom breath triggers, debuffs the rest of the enemies, and she sweeps teams. It's amazing. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me for 2020. I have a whole bunch of plans for 2021. I've just kind of come to realization that I've been waiting for the perfect time to do these things, but like I have so many plans for this page, so many plans to make my presence on the internet known. But 2020 has just taught me that life is just too short to wait. So no more delaying, no more putting things off. 2021, I'm just gonna go for it. You guys are gonna see things. You guys are gonna see change on the channel. You guys are gonna see projects that I've been putting into motion for years and years now, but I just waiting for a perfect time to do it. I'm just gonna go for it because life's just too short. 2020 has shown us that, so I'm just gonna go for it in next year. Hope you guys look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for everything, and see you guys next year. Until next time, deuces.